My name is Hamse Daabjeerin and you are watching the security update. These are the stories making the headlines in this episode. Somaliland police forced to take action against the militia in Gacan Mountains. Somalian President, traditional elders and local community discuss counter-terrorism efforts in Dusamareb. Somalia's Bulani state soldiers protest over unpaid salaries. Welcome to the program. The Somaliland Police Force has formally expressed its commitment to addressing the emergence of newly armed militia who have rejected the postponement of presidential election. This decision comes after these militia engaged in clashes with government forces for the third time within the Sahel region. The Somaliland Police Force has formally expressed its commitment to addressing the emergence of newly armed militias who have rejected the postponement of the presidential election. This decision comes after these militias engaged in clashes with government forces for the third time within the Sahel region. Police Chief Mohammed Sakari Dabagale, in a public statement, has accused the armed militia of attempting to compromise the nation's security. He referenced period brief but impactful confrontations between the opposing factions. Dabagale recounted a specific incident in which the armed militia ambushed a police convoy en route from Daabjeerin to Daabjeerin in the Sahel region. This confrontation resulted in the loss of 9 soldiers and the injury of 17 others. The police chief characterized this action as a deliberate attempt to destabilize the nation. He revealed that the police had refrained from taking direct actions against the armed militia without explicit authorization from the higher-ranking officials. However, the recent attack has compelled the police to receive definitive directives to initiate measures against the armed militia. As we are still in the same issue, Abdurrahman Erro, the presidential candidate of Somaliland's Wadani party, has conveyed a message of peace to the public following a confrontation between armed militia, which was protesting the delays in the presidential election, and Somaliland government forces in the Daabjeerin area of the Sahel region. Abdurrahman Erro, the presidential candidate of Somaliland's Wadani party, has conveyed a message of peace to the public following a confrontation between armed militia, which was protesting the delays in the presidential election, and Somaliland government forces in the Daabjeerin area of the Sahel region. In his address, Erro advised the government to prioritize peaceful initiatives and consider the withdrawal of recently deployed troops from the Gacan Mountains as a measure to de-escalate the prevailing tension. He underscored his commitment to the safety and well-being of citizens, placing their interests above his own aspirations for office.
Warar dhiilaa oo murugo sida oo naga soo gaadhay gobolka Sahel.
Erro expressed regret over the casualties resulting from the clash that transpired on Friday between the armed militia and government forces. He urged both parties involved to refrain from further hostilities, emphasizing the collective benefit of the nation. The presidential candidate asserted that the resolution of the ongoing discord among political stakeholders cannot be achieved through the use of firearms or excessive force. He called upon the armed militia to cease hostilities and prioritize the harmonious state of the country. Clarifying his stance, Erro firmly stated his non-involvement in civil conflicts and reiterated his unwillingness to participate in such activities at the present juncture. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has held talks with traditional elders, politicians, and local community in Dusamareb, the administrative capital of Galmudug State, to level up the military operations against Al-Shabaab. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has held talks with traditional elders, politicians, and the local community in Dusamareb, the administrative capital of Galmudug State, to level up the military operations against Al-Shabaab. During the meeting, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud urged them to counter the group's plans and to prevent divisions among the local population. The local communities also emphasized the importance of collaborating with security agencies. The president has been in Dusamareb for over a week to expedite the major second phase of military operations against Al-Shabaab in Galmudug and Hirshabelle states. In the past few days, the Somali National Army, supported by international partners, killed over 40 Al-Shabaab militants through various distinct military operations in the Pai and Lower Shabelle regions. Somali National Army, backed by local militia forces, recaptured the villages of Rinugod and Hilola Gab in the Middle Shabelle region following a military operation. Both sides did not provide further details regarding the casualties, but we will be back after the short break.
Making documentaries is one of the most creative, craft and challenging endeavors you can be involved in. It is an effective strategy to inform, persuade, educate, defend the perspective and shed light on various issues, policies and activities. At CBA TV, documentary production is our forte. We capture every TikTok detail of events in highest resolution to tell the story you care about, from politics to human hunger, research-based content, educative and informative. We also help you project your story in a dynamic perspective that attracts the world views of the target audience, as there is no better or more powerful way to place the organization's values and achievements than to make an excellent documentary film. No doubt, our strength lies in these ventures, and we pride in many award-winning documentaries which have been earning accolades across Africa and beyond. Let's tell your story.
Welcome back again. Somali National Army, backed by local militia forces, recaptured the villages of Rinugod and Hilola Gap in the Middle Shabelle region following a military operation. Both sides did not provide further details regarding the casualties. Somali National Army, backed by local militia forces, recaptured the villages of Rinugod and Hilola Gap in the Middle Shabelle region following a military operation. Both sides do not provide further details regarding the casualties. Local reports say the joint forces positioned on the outskirts of the villages for the past few days have successfully ousted the Al-Shabaab. Security forces previously said intense operations are underway to flush out some remnants of militants from the country. Officials from the federal government and Hirshabelle regional state are expected to hold a press conference to explain the coalition-led retaking of the two villages. Earlier this month, Prime Minister Hamse announced the commencement of the second phase of the anti-Al-Shabaab operation in the Galmudug and Hirshabelle states. The subsequent operation is slated for Jubaland and the southwest regions. According to the spokesperson of Somalia's Ministry of Defense, Abdullahi Ali Anoud, the Somali National Army has conducted several successful operations against Al-Shabaab in the Pulafuli Pai region over the past few days. According to the spokesperson of Somalia's Ministry of Defense, Abdullahi Ali Anoud, the Somali National Army has conducted several successful operations against Al-Shabaab in the Pulafuli Pai region over the past few days. He revealed that during these operations, the army eliminated dozens of Al-Shabaab fighters, including several leaders. The army also targeted administrative offices, an extortion checkpoint, and a garage used by the group as an explosive weapons depot. Arnold also mentioned that the Somali National Army conducted an operation against Al-Shabaab in a large area under Runirgod Middle Shabelle to maintain security as part of the ongoing military operations against Al-Shabaab. The spokesman urged civilians to stay away from Al-Shabaab's hideout positions targeted by the Somali National Army to avoid harm. Earlier this month, the federal government declared the commencement of the second phase of the anti-Al-Shabaab operations. Somali National Army, backed by the Djiboutian contingent under the African transition in Somalia, affirmed they have foiled a terrorist bomb attack at a place not far from the airport of Bulaperte in Hiran region. Somali National Army, backed by Djiboutian contingent under the African transition in Somalia, affirmed they have foiled a terrorist bomb attack at a place not far from the airport of Bulaperte in Hiran region. The joint forces successfully destroyed explosives recovered from the militants during the operation, according to officials. The military officials blamed Al-Shabaab for planting the bomb, allegedly aiming to harm civilians and government officials. However, officials urged the local forces to speed up the uprising against the Al-Shabaab, saying the Somali army would reinforce them. These military developments came as the Somali National Army forces are advancing to take control of El Pur and Galharire town in Galgaduud region under Galmudug state. The government also made similar accusations against Al-Shabaab for planting landmines on roads that claimed the lives of many civilians, including women and children. Somalia's Puntland state soldiers have blockaded the road that links Garowe, Puntland's administrative capital, to Galkayo due to unpaid salaries for several months, amid Puntland regional state leaders at odds with opposition groups over an election dispute. Somalia's Puntland state soldiers have blockaded the road that links Garowe, Puntland's administrative capital, to Galkayo due to unpaid salaries for several months, amid Puntland regional state leaders at odds with opposition groups over an election dispute. Dozens of trucks carrying goods to the country's central region have remained stranded at the customs post in the Halford district of the Mudug region. Likewise, other lorries destined for the coastal town of Bosaso have been refused passage. For the third time in recent months, Puntland forces have protested due to unpaid wages. Just a few weeks ago, soldiers stationed in the Golis Mountains abandoned their front lines, resulting in the road blockade to Bosaso. A few days after that, another group of soldiers closed off the Bosaso port. In response, the state swiftly addressed the grievances by dispersing the salaries owed to the protesting forces. Over the past months, instances of revolt within the Puntland army have increased. This has been attributed allegedly to the Puntland administration's failure to pay the salaries of its employees and soldiers. And with that, the story of the Somalia's Puntland state soldiers blockade the road that links Garowe, Puntland's administrative capital, to Galkayo due to unpaid salaries for several months, amid Puntland regional state leaders at odds with opposition groups over an election dispute. We'll wrap up our program for this time. Thank you very much for being with us. This is me, Hamse Daabjeerin.